getting lower and lower by the moment. Well, ladies, I like get going. Yeah, when you finish. Yeah, but I'm going to introduce you first. Yeah. So Swan, I'm going to Marilyn. I'm going to never mind. I'm going to have this up here. And I'm going to give it to people when they come up. Okay, Kevin Places. Where is he? Mr. Bailey Places.
Yes. I don't know if Jim made coffee, James. Do you?
I don't know.
There might be, though, Mark. There's definitely a Keurig machine down there, Mark.
But Mark, you're in 2 minutes. Oh, no, you're not. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're good, Mark.
Hola! Obviously, Swan, I'm on this mic to start the show. Right? Or do I have a handheld?
No, take the handheld. Where is your handheld? You have your own handheld.
Nobody has given me one, James.
Oh, where's that second handheld? Thank you. Whatever. Whichever one you want. Put in your batteries.
Yep.
Remind me why we do this.
That makes a difference because then I'll perform into the camera.
Oh, sorry.
As opposed to giving you a side view.
So Kevin is on green. Kevin's on green.
Check, 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 check. Are you going to say anything before I sing at all? I'm just going to start.
Robbie, don't fuck it up. Kevin, are you ready?
Really? There's no business like show business, like no business I know. Everything about it is appealing, everything the traffic will allow. Nowhere can you get that happy feeling when you are stealing that extra bow. There's no people like show people. They smile when they are low. Yesterday they told you you would not go far. That night you open and there you are. Next day on your dressing room, they've hung a star. Let's go on with art.
to the 2024 Global Truth Center Telethon.
Oh my gosh, is that what we're doing here today?
Yes, we are.
It's a telethon?
And there is no business like show business, because basically, what's the other name of our center?
The Global Truth Center.
No.
Our Lady of the Musical Comedy is what I call
That is what we call this place, Our Lady of Musical Theater. Our center has actors, writers, directors, choreographers, wacko people that are part of this center.
And all of that describes you.
Thank you. That's true. I wear many hats. So we are here today to raise money for the Global Truth Center and our outreach into the world. And we are so grateful that you tuned in to watch us today. We have singers.
It's an amazing
We
one.
have authors. We have Shakespearean actors. We have, what else do we have?
Oh my gosh, poets, writers.
We do have poets. We have writers. But we also have what? Comedians, yes. We have one comedian who's right now on the 101 racing here to get here and tell you some probably very off-center and not so very politically correct jokes. So that we're really looking forward to that.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be an amazing day. And what you're in store for here are the talents of the great many people who make up our congregation, because that's what is going to be in front of us today for the next 4 hours.
You don't need that anymore. Now you're.
I guess I'm now picked up on my Thank you very much.
So, as you know, as you can imagine, we have not rehearsed today. So I don't know what kind of crazy antics you will see today, but I do know one thing that I want to set you up for now. Depending on how much money we raise today, if we reach a total that I'm happy with.
Oh, that's way too vague. Sorry.
You don't need that. Yeah.
That's way too
Give me
vague.
that. I'll take it away from you. No, but here's what. We have a big surprise between 1:30 and 2 o'clock. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but if we raise enough money, when we get to that half-hour time between 1:30 and 2 o'clock, I have something that I have brought with me to model for you that I think you'll want to give a lot of money in order for me to put this on.
Okay.
So
I mean, even I'm not sure where you're going with this, but
yes, you are.
I mean, you know,
you bought it for me.
Can I like donate to see what you're going to do? Does that count?
Sure.
Internally?
Sure, absolutely. Oh, poor Robbie. Robbie, finish it off. Go ahead. Da, 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 da. Oh, I meant, yeah, okay. Let's say thank you to Robbie Gilman for being here. Robbie's going to be with us all day today. So
Robbie is
all
stuck
right.
to that chair for the next 4 hours.
Have a seat. Have a seat.
Oh, I'll have a seat.
No, not my seat. You have that one over there.
All right.
Okay.
This is like Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon.
Yes. Guess who I am. So, how you feeling about this? Good?
About like where we're sitting? What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean about the show.
The show ahead is going to be phenomenal. I mean, you know.
So we're going to start the show off with a singer who is absolutely spectacular. He is a dear friend of ours. He's
sung here many times.
He's sung here, but his father is very famous, but I can't really say who his father is, because if I do, I'll get it wrong. And I'll be corrected when he comes up here, right?
I don't think you've ever introduced him correctly.
No, I haven't. But I will introduce him now, and then you'll move over the way Johnny Carson, right, Ed McMahon does, and let him come sit in
Is
there.
that what I'm going to
Yes.
do?
So please welcome
can't help
to
but
the
direct.
stage this morning, Mark Arthur Miller. Okay, so
Now I get to hand you this.
Oh, this is great.
isn't this fun?
Is this where everyone starts? I mean, if you get on this stage, on this couch, then your trajectory of your career goes like this.
Do you know who has been there? The great author, Mark Nepo.
Oh, wow.
We had a whole evening with him, the interview.
Can
Also,
I touch this couch?
Ricky Byers Beckwith, she came and we did a whole evening with her. She sang her songs. I interviewed her for an hour. And we had the great Holland Taylor, who came and sat here while
That's
I interviewed her. So
yes.
now we have the great Mark Arthur Miller.
Well, I don't know
So
about
did
that,
they
but
really
it's
name
nice to be
you?
here.
Did they really name you Arthur Miller?
Yes, that's my grandfather's name.
Oh, it's
yeah,
not after Arthur Miller.
No, it's not after Arthur Miller. It just happens to turn out that way. But my grandfather, I never went by that, but when I got into the acting field, there already was a Mark Miller in the unions, so I couldn't just be that. And my grandfather always said, if you perform, will you use your full name? And I said, of course I will. And I thought it was a better name anyway.
Well, Mark, so that Arthur Miller was around at the same time as the other Arthur Miller.
Well, my grandfather was Arthur Garrick, because it's my mom's side.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, so he was not Arthur Miller.
Yeah, he was not Arthur.
You're the only Arthur Miller.
I'm the only Arthur Miller. Well,
Okay.
there was one.
So
other one.
tell the audience about your father.
There would be the other Arthur Miller,
That would be the other Arthur
which
Yeah,
is the
but,
famous
you know.
one.
Who probably would be sitting in that chair.
No, he wouldn't. I'd still have him there, but I'd talk to him. So tell us about your father. Tell them who your father is.
My father, Ron Miller, was the first white writer for Motown Records, and
That's exciting.
He wrote. He was discovered he was discovered delivering pizza to some writers from Detroit and people who were looking for Chicago jazz acts, and he heard that they were playing the piano and they wanted a pizza delivered. And my dad, while he was writing and singing and selling refrigerators and delivering pizza late at night, delivered a pizza.
So your dad was a singing pizza delivery man.
Exactly, and he went into these guys, delivered the pizza, and they were working for Motown. And he said, I heard you guys were in town looking for songwriters. So my dad sat down at the piano that they were at 1 o'clock in the morning after delivering pizza, and they thought he was lying, and he sat down and played For Once in My Life, which he wrote.
Could you sing a little bit of that so they remember what it is?
For
Go ahead.
once in my life, I have someone who needs me, someone I've needed so long.
For once in my
Yeah, you
life,
got it.
I gotta
That's
go
it.
where life leads me.
But he wrote it as a ballad, and then Stevie Wonder turned it into that.
Isn't that a great story? I mean, that's great. We're going to close today around 1:30 with EL.
Oh.
Who is? I'll bridge this together for you all at close to 2 o'clock.
Cool. I love it.
Because he has a story about being a singing delivery man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then, and a couple weeks later, they invited my dad out to Detroit, and then the rest is
Rest
history.
is- So tell them, just give them a list of the songs that your dad
Well,
has
first of all, he wrote Stevie Wonder's first 5 hit singles. So that was Yesterday, Yesterday, A Place in the Sun, Heaven Help Us All, I've Never Been to Me, If I Could, probably 30 gold
I love that
records.
song. That is such a gay, iconic song.
What?
But I've never
Yeah, it
been.
became. My dad wrote a male version first that the Temptations recorded that I actually still want to record, and then he wrote the female version. But between both versions, it became the gay national anthem.
I know.
And he never. I don't think he
That
intended
was kind of gay. Yeah.
yeah. But
I know.
I was happy that it happened.
I know. Yes, because your father was very inclusive.
Yes,
Yes.
totally.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So good. Well, that's exciting. So, what are you going to sing for us today? Do you want to just sing it, and so because you're going to talk during it too, right?
Yeah, it's got a little thing.
Yeah,
that
give
I-
us some setup to it. That's-
Yeah. No, I
Is
don't
there a
need-
setup? I don't
Nah,
think.
it doesn't. We don't. Need a
Okay.
setup. I'll
So
just
here we
sing.
go, folks. Mark Arthur Miller.
This is
Hand me that. No.
No, that's Kevin's.
Yeah.
All right, let's see this. I will say this. I will say this.
Say it into the mic.
I never sing this early in the morning. If truth be told, I'm never up this early in the morning. But I will do my best. If you could have been there when I still believed that I'd change the world with my tears, you might have found more than an old dusty life. Too many failures and too many 40 years ago, that song was written. Music by the great Kenny Hirsch, and lyrics by my father, Ron Miller. They were doing a tribute night of his songs, and he asked me to be in it and asked me if I would sing this song. And I said, Pop, I love this song, but I'm not sure I can relate to this lyric. And he said to me, in time, my boy, in time. Where were you when my dreams were younger and I felt all the hope that you feel? Yesterday when I belonged to me and there wasn't anything I couldn't be. Where were you when I had that hunger to believe in the dreams of a fool? Yesterday when I was oh so smart and I didn't know the world would break my heart. Love never closes the door. She'll find you if you can wait. But time never loses the war, and love might just be too late now. Where were you when I needed someone to believe in the dreams of a fool? If I had your love to see me through, I might have done the things I'll never do. Damn it, baby, I was there, but where were you? Oh, baby, where were you? Thanks, Pop.
Wow.
He would kill me. He would kill me because I screwed up one of his lyrics. Sorry.
We don't know that, so that I'm all teary-eyed.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Well, actually, so when I was that age, and I asked me to sing that song, hence the lyric is about someone who's now my age, 40 plus years later. So the song makes sense to me now, totally. But at that point, it really didn't. But he wanted me to sing it anyway. And after I sung it, I sort of kept it in all of my shows.
What's that first lyric again? It's
If you could have been there when I still believed that I saved the world with my tears.
and there's another one too. If you could have been there when I still believed in my dreams.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you feel about that now?
Oh.
Do you
well,
relate to it now?
Yeah, I mean, because we all go through our successes and failures and what we thought we could have accomplished. Believed in the truth that was still me. I think the line that always gets me the most is love never closes the door. It finds you if you can wait.
Yeah.
But time never.
Yes.
But time never loses the war.
Right.
Now that is my favorite line in the song. Yeah.
I was just
That
thinking.
time it never does lose the war. So we're getting there. We're going to keep getting there. So you just have to figure out a way to make things still as important as you get older as they were when you were younger.
When you were singing that, I was thinking about something. I was having a conversation yesterday with a friend about our early years in New York. And this friend was saying, I just don't understand why I don't feel as driven as I felt back then. And I said, you know what it is? When we were in New York in our 20s and our early 30s, we had an entire future ahead of us of prospects, of things we expected to achieve, things we knew was going to happen. And to the degree that they did or did not happen, with age, it takes a little bit away from us if we let it.
Yeah, if we let it. But like the other line in the song, I didn't know the world would break my heart. And that's part of it too. So you have to constantly, and it doesn't break your heart once.
No.
It keeps breaking your heart. So you have to make sure that you do things that then heal your heart.
Yes, no, absolutely.
After it's broken.
Yep. Well,
which is why I do this still.
And now you're singing everywhere. You've been at the Catalina Club. You've been in New York City.
I have a show that I do called Soul Searching, which hopefully most of the congregation has seen. And I've done it in New York a couple times, and it's been raves. I just did it at Hidden Hills Theater. I'm going to back east next year, hopefully London, to do it. So
that's awesome.
So yeah.
Well, Mark, thank you for waking up at not your normal time.
I am going to go back home. And
I was so shocked when I said to him yesterday. He said, "What time do I have to be there?" I said, "Probably around." I said, I said, "What time do you get up?" He said, "Well, I'm usually up by 9 or 10."
Yeah. Well, you guys.
Kevin's up at 5 o'clock.
I know. You guys miraculously, changed your hours from years ago. We all were in theater for how many years, and I had 2 theater companies, and I still go to bed at 1:30 in the morning. I have not been able to change that clock. Even if I do have to get up early, I still can't go to
Yep,
sleep.
I get it. I totally get it. Well, Mark, thank you for coming and for being a part of this.
I love being here. Thank you. And
yes, give a pitch.
Give.
Yes, if you like what you heard so far, please contribute to our.
This place is money deserves to go to places that give you this. So this place gives you this.
Thank you, Mark. Love you.
Here.
Got it. Okay, go back to bed. Excellent. Yes. Thor, are you giving a picture of yourself? So during the day, you guys won't see this, but Thor is now able to shoot himself in the foot. No, to shoot himself in the booth, so you guys online will get to see Reverend Dr. Thor.
So before Mark leaves, I wanted to update you on the giving this morning. We have received our first $150 from 2 generous donors. So thank you to
that's
them. That's
$300 then. Okay, great, excellent. Thank you so much for telling us that. Thank you, Mark. They're already supporting you and us. Your cut is nothing. Your cut is the wonderful ability to be here. Yes. Okay. Bye. Okay, everybody. Okay. What do you think, Mr. Bailey?
I think
this is yours.
That is.
That's just a hold up to give to
the guest.
Actually, I'm going to give that to somebody right now.
It's going to be the guest microphone.
Yes. So we have some interesting people in this center, actors. The young lady I'm going to introduce right now is a Shakespearean actress, but I didn't meet her as a Shakespearean actress because she used to be a Broadway musical theater actress. In fact, she was in the musical Applause on Broadway with Lauren Bacall, and that was many years ago. I forget when Applause was. But now and then I got to go see her in, where are the 3 witches? Is that Hamlet? Macbeth. You're not supposed to say it. We're not in a theater. We're fine. So, in that play about
this means the curse comes to you, just so you know.
I don't believe in that stuff.
I did not say it, Bonnie.
We're not in a theater. So please welcome to the stage. Oh, you can do that. Great. Bonnie Schneider. Give me your hand. Here she goes. In her little Shakespearean outfit. Okay, take it away, Bonnie. There's your microphone.
All right. Okay, first of all, today, I don't have to tell any of you, because if you're listening, we live in a world where whatever happens, wherever we are in any part of the world, we hear about it instantly. But is this the truth? Is it actual fact? Or is it gossip? Or is it someone's opinion? It has, we hear about it in the newspapers, the internet, iPhone, everything. But we don't know if this is actual fact. It could be rumor. Now, Shakespeare actually had something to say about rumor because it existed in his time and before his time, and he made a character out of rumor. Open your ears. For which of you would stop the vent of hearing when loud rumor speaks? I, from the Orient to the drooping west, making the wind my post horse, still unfold the acts commenced on this ball of earth. Upon my tongue's continual slanders ride, the which in every language I pronounce, stuffing the ears of men with false reports. I speak of peace, while covert enmity under the smile of safety wounds the world. And who but rumor? Who but only I make fearful musters and prepare defense, whilst the big year, swollen with some other grief, is thought with child by the stern tyrant war, and no such matter. Rumor is a pipe, blown on by surmises, jealousies, conjectures, and of so easy and so plain a stop that blunt monster with uncounted heads, that still discordant, wavering multitude, can play upon it. But what need I my well-known body to anatomize amongst my household? Why is rumor here? The posts come tiring on, and not a man of them brings other news than they have learned of me. From rumor's tongues, they bring smooth comforts, false, worse than true wrongs. Yes, Shakespeare had a lot to say about most things in the world. I find that he's kind of my spiritual guru, my self-help guru. And he actually had, I'd like to, ask James here a couple of things about now I did write them down because my head is
ask
actually...
me about Shakespeare? Because this may be a comedy.
No.
I know Romeo and Juliet. That's it.
You don't have to know anything about Shakespeare.
And I know to be or not to be.
Right.
That is the question.
Ah, yes.
Whether it is nobler. That's as much as I know.
And tis nobler. Whether
tis nobler in the mind to live or die.
Right. That's it.
There you go. And so it is.
Okay.
Go ahead, ask me questions.
I'm just going to say...
Can Kevin come up here too? Because he
yes,
probably knows the answers better than I do.
Kevin,
come up here.
Really
Kevin has done Shakespeare. When we first met, I got to go see Kevin in... No, don't say it. It was either Much Ado About Nothing, or what's the one with the people in the forests?
All's Well that Ends Well?
No, you played. Wait, I know which one it was.
Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yes, a Midsummer Night's
I was just going to make him
Dream.
suffer to see if he could come up with it.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I know the name of the show if it's been turned into a musical.
That's right.
Like Your Own Thing, which was.
That's right.
Don't tell me. It was the one about the shipwreck and the
12th Night.
12th Night. There you go.
I could just keep making him suffer through these questions.
Jesus God.
I'll help you.
Okay,
All right,
go ahead.
I'm
What's the
not
question?
really here to ask questions about Shakespeare. I'm just going... Shakespeare has given us profound sayings, words of wisdom.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, things that pop up all the time through the media. Shakespeare actually said that.
Okay.
For instance, there is no darkness but ignorance.
Oh.
I found that to be quite helpful this week. Anyway, and it's be great in act as you have been in thought.
Yes, means do it now. Don't just think about it.
That's
Excellent.
It. Thank you.
Good.
That's the kind of thing I want.
Okay, go ahead.
To mourn a mischief that is past and gone
It's a waste
is the
of time.
next way to bring new mischief on.
Well, but it's what we teach.
That's exactly
It's called
it.
secondary causation, and what we focus on keeps coming back to us. So we make a mistake. What's the first line there? To mourn a...
To mourn a mischief.
Yeah, so if something goes wrong in your life and you start thinking about it and then you keep talking about it and thinking about it, you just keep rotating it and bringing it back.
It is the next way.
Shakespeare was very, very science of mind.
Oh my, yes, he was
Go ahead.
very metaphysical. This I kind of like. It is not in our stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves.
Oh, he knew it.
He did know it.
Say it again, Kevin, with that deep
It is
voice.
not in our stars to know our destiny, but in ourselves.
That's right, because there's no such thing as predetermined lives. You create your life as you use your mind. Yes, good. Okay, keep going.
Okay. All right. Now, this is kind of on the same thing. Our remedies in ourselves do lie, but which we subscribe to heaven.
What?
Our remedies in ourselves do lie.
Oh, our remedies in ourselves do lie,
which we ascribe to
which
heaven.
we think is... It's the same thing as the one before.
No,
That's
in other
right.
words, we
That's-
create. We
Right.
ascribe it to heaven or God. but
We're like,
the ones
God,
responsible."
fix me. God, help me. And we're
Right.
like, no, as Jesus said to the lepers, as I did play Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar, as Jesus said to I know most of you don't know that, right, Robbie? Do you know a little Gethsemane there? Yeah, okay, good. Good. Heal thyselves.
Huh?
Yes, and then all the lepers run away from Jesus. He collapses. Mary catches him and sings, I don't know how to love him, which we're actually doing today.
That's good.
Yes.
Good.
So go ahead.
Okay. This one, it just takes a lot of thought, this one.
Okay,
because
go ahead.
okay.
We'll think.
Present fears are less than horrible imaginings.
Oh,
That
Reality
takes a lot.
versus what you're dreaming.
right.
That's
Like,
right.
it's just like what is really in front of you
Yeah.
versus that which you're contemplating and making up in your mind.
Yeah, I knew.
Right.
I understood that. But that's a good, but it's
yeah.
hard because it flicks a little bit. Yeah.
That's right.
Okay,
It's like
okay.
it kind of
One
messes
more.
with you. Okay. We know what we are, but know not what we may be.
Oh, that is so clear, and it's right
That's
there
Hamlet,
on the
isn't
wall.
it,
That's
Bonnie?
right.
Isn't that Hamlet?
Yes, that's
Well,
it.
here, can I see that
Good
again?
For you. We know what we are.
We know what we are, but know not what we may be.
That's right.
I should play Hamlet, don't you think?
Good.
I'd be a great Hamlet.
Every once in a while I
Except
can get
he was
the
in his
quote.
30s.
We could do a show.
We
Okay,
should.
Okay.
You could
let's
play.
do
You could
that.
play my father.
Right.
And so it is. Okay, so you have a cohort with you, don't you?
That's right. And actually, this is kind of tied to
Could you
Shakespeare.
grab that microphone for
will,
her
yep.
cohort?
Because Shakespeare.
Oh no, you don't need it. No, we don't need it, Kevin. I was wrong. You're good. Just put your microphone where you want it.
But he needs
Oh,
it
you
for
do
the
need it.
guitar.
It is that one. Yes, thank you. See, we're just playing this as we go.
Yes.
You're right back there, right where you just were.
Also means I need to cut in front of you, just so you
Please go ahead.
clear.
You just totally covered her. Okay, go.
For a second.
Okay, you ready? Go ahead and introduce what we're about to see.
Okay. Well, now, this concerns Shakespeare and music.
Okay.
Now, Shakespeare's plays, all of them, are filled with music.
Right.
And I mean, he actually wrote song lyrics. He has, there are, and the incidental music in all of Shakespeare's plays, because there was music, was improvisation, and their.
I hear music.
And
And
that's
there's
right.
no one
and
there.
their modern music. So, it can be Craig Lincoln.
No one can see him yet.
Yes, okay.
Just talk
All
to
right.
them.
Oh, yes. Hi.
Just a short intro about what we're going to hear.
Yes. It's just that sometimes a piece of work, a poem, on a sunset can be very personal and often sublime.
And this is it?
And this is
Okay,
it.
have a seat.
You know, they say if you're going to write a song and you're going to co-write, it's best to write with somebody who's better than you. Here's a song I co-wrote with William Shakespeare. It's called Hamlet's Blues. I have, of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth. Forgone all custom of exercises. And indeed, it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems but a sterile promontory. And this most excellent canopy, the air, why, look you, this brave o'erhanging firmament, this majestical roof, fretted with golden fire. Why, it appeareth no other thing to me than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is a man. How noble in reason, how infinite in faculty. In form and moving, how express and admirable. In action, how like an angel. In apprehension, how like a god. The beauty of the world. The paragon of animals. And yet, to me, what is this? Quintessence of dust. Man delights not me.
Beautiful, Craig.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks to Will, my co-writer,
was-
Will Shakespeare. And I want to mention that's from the show Random Acts of Shakespeare, which was co-written by Bonnie Snyder,
Yes.
Joe Nasty, and myself.
Yes, totally. Great. Okay, Bonnie, thank you so much. You guys were terrific. And I think we are going to see your show at some point. Here on this stage, right?
That's the rumor
Yes.
I've been hearing.
Yes, okay, good. Excellent. Good, good, good. Okay, Bonnie, let me help you down. Okay, there you go. So we've been waiting for our comedian, but she seems to be stuck on the freeway. So,
Dr.
so,
James.
Yeah, I know.
Dr. James.
Yes.
In the meantime, we have more money raised. We
Excellent.
are now at a total of $375 raised this morning. So
Excellent.
Thank you to our donors.
Okay, so if there were like 300, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, no. We should be at like 20,000. So thank you, everyone who's contributed, but let's get this going. So you were supposed to come running in screaming as soon as I gave you the cue, but you missed it, so forget it. You lost that moment. Here's your new moment. Please welcome Genevieve Joy.
Thank you.
Hit it.
Are we talking
Nope,
first
you're,
or
nope,
am I talking?
nope,
All
you're
right.
doing your...
First of all, okay. I don't do anything in the morning, let alone do stand-up in the morning, okay? So what?
You can barely stand up in the
Apparently,
morning.
I can barely stand up in the morning. So when I got a text message that said 10:45, was I supposed to be looking for an email at 7:30 this morning with an update? I did get it. So
Yeah.
we're both wrong because you did tell me, but also I was sleeping. So what do you do?
Okay, they don't know what you're talking about, so launch into your dolls.
My dolls.
Whatever you're going to talk about today.
Whatever. That Shakespeare was amazing. I actually, you may not know this, I did not move to California to be a comedian. I moved to California to be a serious actress. Shut up. I was doing stand-up in New York, and I wasn't like working as an actress at all. And I was like, you know why? It's because I'm competing with girls who can sing and tap, and we're Annie, and like I just need to go somewhere else, and then they'll realize how good I am at being like a serious actress. And then I moved here, and in 12 years I've done 2 productions that weren't comedies, and both of them were bad. Like they were like really bad.
I saw them.
Shut up. And when I auditioned for the movie Mother's Day, which I don't know if anybody has seen this movie.
Bravo, great part.
Thank you. When I auditioned for this movie, I actually read for like real parts, you know. And then and Gary Marshall calls me into his office after the audition, and he said, "You read good, but you weren't right for the part." And I said, "Which part?" And he said, "Any of the parts." And I said, "But that's impossible. There's like 5 million roles in this movie. There's no way I'm that bad an actress." And he just stared at me and didn't say anything. And then he said, "But there's comedy." And that was it. And that was how I actually got written into the movie, because it was the only way that anyone wanted to see me. So that's it's a sad story, but it's not a bad story. I mean, I got to use my own jokes and, you know, my own name, and I talked about my mom, which was perfect because the movie was called Mother's Day. So my mom, by the way, is here. She's not here.
She's in California?
Oh yeah, you'll see her tomorrow. She's visiting, and it's okay. It's been fine. She acts very helpless when she's, you know, it's like her thing because she just wants people to do everything for her. So like yesterday morning, she didn't know how to work my shower. And I was like, "It's a shower. Like, how do you function, you know?" And she's like, "Turn the shower on." So I said, "Okay." She doesn't really sound like that. It's just in my head. So
She kind of does.
She kind of does. I turn the shower on, and then I'm waiting because the water's heating up. She's like, "Why are you still here? Just give me some privacy." And I said, "You got to check the temperature." She's like, "It's fine." I get to the bottom of the stairs. "It's hot!" I had to come running back up to fix the shower. Pathetic. So annoying. But I mean, you know, we're good. We're good. That's how I've been starting every day. She had a fall. She fell on a curb. And she keeps insisting that, like, the problem was the curb. Well, they shouldn't have it like that. Nobody else fell. It was every other corner. So she takes it, but it was good because we got a nice big crowd gathered around. And she laid there for, like, a good 10 minutes being like, "I don't know, my wrist. She's completely fine. So that was the fun part. What else? The dolls. You want to hear about the dolls again? Okay, so...
It's my favorite joke.
It's his favorite story. So when I was a little kid... American Girl dolls. Everybody knows about this, right? There's women in this room, so we've heard of American Girl dolls. So the thing is, now there's like this American Girl doll factory where like you can go there. Like none of this existed when I was little. They didn't have they didn't have every race and like you could get them to look like you. Like none of this. There were 3. And there was a magazine, and like all the little girls would get the magazine, and it was the most exciting thing, and then you'd have to like order it and, you know, send it to Santa Claus which one you wanted. So I wanted the one with the brown hair and the blue eyes because that's what I looked like, and I thought I was pretty. What did I know? And I sent that one off, and it was Molly. That was the name of the doll. So Christmas morning comes, and I go under the tree, and I see the box, and I know what it is, and I open it up. And it's Kirsten from Scandinavia, the blonde. And I'm looking at this doll and I'm thinking, And my mom comes over and she says, "Isn't she beautiful?" And I said, "Yeah, but I don't look like her." And she said, "But you will." About 3 years later, I did. We found some back alley beauty salon. Oh, another fun fact. I thought I had curly hair as a child. I didn't. I brought it up with my sister, and I was like, remember when I had those cute curls? And she was like, you didn't have curls. Mom had you permed when I was 3. So I brought it up, and I was like, what kind of salon lets a 3-year-old child get permed? In her defense, she says, well, I couldn't stand looking at your stringy hair. But it was really cute. Like, it was really cute. I thought I was very cute because I didn't know what I actually looked like. So she's here. My dad is in an interesting situation because they're divorced. So he is now married to a very lovely woman from China. The thing she keeps doing, though, is bringing these people from China to stay in their house. It's like they just keep multiplying. Like, every time I go there, there's like 15 new Chinese people that I've never seen before in my life. And they're sleeping on every surface. She just keeps bringing them. They're all piano prodigies, which is hilarious because he tried to turn me into a piano player, and I sucked. And finally, at one point, I was like, look, I don't like this, and I'm bad at it. So I finally quit. But now he got what he wished for because he's married to this Chinese Juilliard professor who just brings these Chinese piano prodigies, and they just have these tiger moms that just make them play around the clock, and he just hears classical music all day long. So, you get what you wish for.
So that's the power of intention.
That is the power of intention, but here's why it's funny. So I come into the house. This is like last Thanksgiving, so I'm I can't wait. I come into his apartment, and this woman who I don't know is staring at me like really like I'm this disgusting thing. And I was like, okay, I don't know what her deal is. And I went into the bathroom and I tripped over this giant like basin on the floor that's like taking up the entire. It's an apartment in New York, so like the bathroom is small. And I went, what is this? And my dad's like, don't move that, because he's scared of them, you see. So he's like, don't move that. And I said, why is it here? He goes, that's the bucket that Faye, who by the way is not the wife, just one of these randoms, uses to wash the floors. And I'm like, you make them wash the floors? And he goes, no. But I wear shoes in the house, and Chinese people really hate that. But they're not going to say anything because A, they don't have the language, and B, it's not their home. So instead, they just passive-aggressively follow him around with a mop. And that's his life now. and the communism factor, which make like the cheapness is hilarious. Like, I'm sorry, but like this communism thing, it really messes with people. Like, they are so scared to spend any money because the government's gonna take it all. We go to a restaurant and they have, like, she ordered her meal in a to-go tin. And I was like, what are you doing? Get a plate. You're worth it. And she's like, no. I might not finish. I'm like, but no one's coming. The government's not coming to take your dinner away. It's so you can relax. So this stress. So there was a roll of toilet paper on the dining room table. And my dad's like, hey, hun, why is this here? And she's like, oh, well, Caroline, that's one of the children, I don't know if it's hers or someone else's, but one of the children was sneezing. And he's like, I know. That's why I bought these tissues. And she goes, this is not economical. Look, you pull and you only get one. And he's like, okay, but I don't really like toilet roll on my dining room table. Maybe we could just use it. And she's like, fine, Robbie, if you don't mind wasting thousands of dollars. Because he was so bossy, you know.
What would you do if you grew up in a sane family?
In a sane family?
You'd have no career.
I wouldn't be here. I don't know. Yeah, a sane family. I don't know about that. Because it's not just that. My older sister, Vanessa, she's awesome. She was sneaking into AA, which she's not an alcoholic, by the way. She doesn't even drink. Well, she was supposed to go to these meetings for Overeaters Anonymous, which is kind of a joke in itself because overeating is not a flaw that one wears anonymously. Like, I don't know if it's a secret meeting, if you can hear them coming, but she was going to these meetings, and then she found out that they were having the AA meetings down the hall. So she started slipping out and attending those. And then she wanted me to come with her. She was like, you should come with me to these AA meetings. I was like, I don't have a drinking problem, and neither, I mean, I do, but we don't talk about that. I said, I don't have a drinking problem, and neither do you. Why are you going to AA? You're supposed to go to Overeaters. And she goes, oh, I quit that place. No hot guys. So, plus at AA, they bring coffee and donuts, not at the Overeaters place. So that's her jam now. That's where she wants to hang out on whatever. I know. It's amazing.
Isn't she the one that said that you're not a singer?
No, that was the other one.
Oh,
That was the other one. That was at my mom's. So at my mom's wedding. Okay.
Third wedding.
Third wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's the best. So when I was dating my last boyfriend, it was literally about maybe a couple of weeks, and my mom's like, "Well, has he proposed yet?" And I said, "No, Mom. Like we've only known each other a couple of weeks." And then she goes, "Yeah, well, all 3 of my marriages, they proposed very early. So that's how it works out." And I was like, "Are you hear it? Keyword all 3." Anyway, they all proposed by like the second date, something like that. But she's
So at her wedding.
At her wedding,
your
yeah.
sister.
So we were at her wedding, and obviously, James and Kevin sang, and it was all very beautiful. And then it's near the end of the night, and everybody's just kind of goofing around, and it's all like fun. So I sang a song, and everybody loved it because I'm awesome. And so my sister comes up to me afterward, not the one we've just discussed, the other one.
The thin sister.
The very, very thin sister. But she keeps having baby after baby because she wants the boobs. It's very funny. Every time she gets pregnant, she gets so excited, and now she just she keeps having kids so she can keep her boobs. I don't know how long she can keep that going. But she's the only one. She never had any boobs. She's got everything else. We're opposite. So she comes up to me, and she's like, well, I would never say that you have a beautiful voice, because you don't. But all this time, I thought you were completely tone deaf, and you're not. I think that might be the nicest thing she's ever said. Like, to anyone. Not just me, but,
No, she's always been very nice to me.
She was nice to you. Yeah, because she's in love with you.
Well, everyone is.
I know. She's actually in love with you, too. She's half in love with both of you.
Well, we're both in love with each other, so...
Right, so it's like a weird triangle that's never going to be. So that's fine.
Okay, do you have your closing?
Do I have my closing?
What's your closing story?
All right, I'm gonna...
Is it safe for the internet?
Yeah, why not? Okay. All right, so I volunteer with homeless people, which you know. And whenever I tell people I do that, they're like, oh, you have such a big heart. You're such a good person. I'm not a very good person. I prefer their company to most of the people I know with homes in Los Angeles. And I was volunteering to stay. There was this old man who did I ever tell you this?
No.
There was this old man that I got really, really attached to, and he died. And I was super depressed about it. And he was the nicest guy ever. He would always bring me gifts, like things, like weird things mostly, like from the flower shop, like the wooden hearts that they used to make for the funeral arrangements that he obviously stole. One time he gave me a gold watch. I hope nobody got stabbed for it, but they probably did. And he was so sweet. And I was down there and I was talking to this other homeless guy. And I was sitting with him and we were kind of reminiscing. I said, remember old Faisal? He's like, he died. I was like, yeah, I know. And I said, well, we were really good friends so fast because, we had all this stuff in common. We don't have very much in common. But I'm like, because he was an Aries and I was an Aries. And this guy's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, well, he was wearing red. Like, his favorite color was red. And I was like, oh, my favorite color is red. And, it's kind of an Aries thing. I'm a fire sign. Are you a fire sign? He's like, oh, yep. So, I would always bring him donations of stuff that was red. And I'm going on, and this guy gives me this look like, oh, my God, you adorable little idiot. And he goes, Faisal wore red because he was in the Bloods. And I said, you mean he wasn't an Aries? And this guy goes, oh, maybe he wasn't Aries, but definitely he was a blood.
What's a blood?
The Bloods and the Crips, like Danger.
Oh, the gang.
Yes.
Oh, he was one of the gang members.
Like a gang leader, like a big deal, like a retired.
Well, that doesn't mean you can't be his friend.
Well, so then I said, how do you know that he wore red because he was a blood? And he goes, same reason I wear blue.
Really? These are your intimate friends?
Yeah. That's what I'm going to spend this afternoon with.
I know. She's leaving here to go down to, where is it?
To Skid Row.
Skid Row.
Go hang out with
to
some
hand
retired
out
Bloods and Crips.
To hand out lunches.
Yes, precisely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So can we give it up for Genevieve Joy? Have a seat, Genevieve. So that, hold on to that for a second. So that's a good way for me to segue into this. I have to be honest. It blows my mind that you go down there and are so comfortable down there. You were with somebody we both know, and you had them drive you there to do something. Somebody, and you just, no, you went down there with your mother.
I went down with my mother?
Didn't you go down there with somebody and you were like, to do something? And they,
with my mom. Because she was getting married. And the flower shop,
yes.
She wanted the napkins to match the flowers, and she said, how do I do it? They said, well, if you want this done quickly, you should go down to our supplier, and they'll just make them for you.
And then you took your mother to show your friends to your mother.
Yeah, so I said...
Because that's where the flower district is.
That's where the flower district is there. So I said, where exactly is your supplier? And they were like, Crocker and 7th. And I was like... So my mom goes, well, where are we going? And I said, we're going to Skid Row. And she goes, is it real dangerous? And I said, not for me. So...
Don't get out of the car.
Yeah, so we get down there, we park, the thing is red. Just, can we park here? I was like, you're not going to, police don't come here. Like, no one, where would they begin? They're going to worry about your car? There's a guy smoking crack, like, in plain view, and another tent on fire. Nobody's worried about where we parked. So,
So you went down, and
yeah. And then I asked the retired blood, who at the time I just thought was my birthday twin, to guard the car.
And he did, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But didn't you also go into a tent?
Yeah.
I remember your mother, because I know her mother.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember she took me aside and she said, you need to tell her to stop doing this. She left me alone in Skid Row while she went into a tent.
Well, I had to go say hi to my pal.
Yeah, your mother was dying
Yes.
on the street.
She was just pacing back.
Surprised she didn't trip over a curb that day.
Oh, that would have been fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming here today and showing. By the way, she is now a minister, so this is our new one of our new ministers. This is how ministry will unfold as we move forward.
She's doing outreach on the street ministry.
You know what?
It's important.
That's true. Many of us speak to people that are already in alignment with what we're saying. You're in the world making a difference. You really are. I know you make fun of yourself for it, and you make light of it. But what you do is very important. And I'm really grateful you're part of this ministry.
Thank you.
Can we give it up for Genevieve Joy? Okay. Thank you, sweetie. Now you can go down to Skid Row.
All right.
Eventually you should learn to sing that song, Skid Row from Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, that's not an easy song.
Okay. Okay. Well, how are we doing, Thor?
We are doing phenomenally well because we have a very generous gift from two of the people in the room. Marilyn Murphy and Scott Gibb put us over $1,000 so far. So thank you to Marilyn and Scott.
Thank you, Marilyn Murphy. Thank you, Scott Gibb, who's standing behind the camera. Okay, well, we have a lot to do today. How are you feeling? Your microphone's on.
I'm feeling great. I'm, as you know, I'm recently back in town from Philadelphia.
Right.
And, so it's for all of us, obviously, it's been a week, but by that I simply mean, it is great to be back in our spiritual center. Mm-hmm. I feel very grounded being here among friends, and great to be enjoying life, and
I'm happy to have you back.
I'm happy to be back.
Very
with
happy to have you back. Later on, I'm going to sing the first song I ever wrote for Kevin when I met him 36 years ago. So you didn't know I was going to do that, did you?
I only knew that when you were rehearsing it earlier today.
Yeah, I did have to rehearse it.
That's when I found
It's
out.
been a while, but yes, I will be singing that. And I wrote that for you in 1988. Wow.
89.
98,
actually.
208,
89.
218, 36 years ago. And that song's still relevant for me. Yeah. So I just want to
And you're
reach
supposed to
out.
be naked on a beach singing it to me, so maybe he'll do that today for you.
That is true. That's how that
I
happened.
know you're supposed to be
So I
naked
wrote
on
him
the
this
beach.
love song, and then when I was looking, I had to write a love song for the musical I wrote called An Unfinished Song, which we were starring in. And so I decided, well, I already wrote that song. I might as well use it because it's worth more. Michael singing a song for Worth, just like I wrote for you. So I put it in the show, and in the scene, Michael comes running onto the beach in New Hampshire, comes running onto the beach naked with a guitar holding strategically in front of himself, naked, and then sits down and sings him this song. Well, when we did the show, that's how I wrote it. But when we did the show,
You were a chicken.
I said, no way. I'm happy
Who
to
wrote
be.
this show? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I was like, no, I can't do that. So I did it in, was it like
Little boxer.
short bathing suit. Fast forward, 2 years later, they're doing the production in Australia, in Sydney. And the show opens and gets these phenomenal reviews. I mean, like, through the it was a huge hit. Broadway shows that had won Tony Awards were getting panned, and our show was a huge hit. So they flew me over to go see the show. I had completely forgot that I'd never changed the script to say that Michael comes out naked. It still says Michael comes out naked. So I'm sitting there, and I'm watching the show, and all of a sudden the beach comes on, and all of a sudden this guy from Australia, very handsome, comes running out, not strategically holding the guitar, I might add, and runs out onto the stage. And
See,
I'm,
they knew how to sell tickets.
and I literally, I was like, ah! I was like, what
Who
is
wrote this?
And then I was like, oh my God. So at the cast party, the guy playing Michael, he said, that was really hard for me. I said, yeah, it was hard for me too. He said, what did it feel like? I said, I don't know, I didn't do it. I said, and I forgot to change the script. When I sent it to, he goes, you mean you didn't expect me to come out naked? I said, oh no. I said, it was quite a treat, but no, I didn't. He said, well, it's been mentioned in a number of the articles how well done it is, how tasteful it is. I said, that's good. Not doing it again, though. So, yeah. But I'll be singing that song later today, fully dressed. Okay. Shall we move on?
Unless there's a big donation. So I will tell you that
No. There is a big donation coming
just
today.
trying to make money for us.
We are
here,
going to
babe.
make money for the center. There is 2 things I'm doing today that are completely out of my comfort zone.
Nothing sells more than nudity.
And there may be
Just
a little
saying,
touch of that
the
at the
producer and me will tell you this. This is a fact, ladies and gentlemen.
Be my guest.
It is. How much?
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so we have a wonderful guest coming up here right now. Swan, are you ready with this next track? You are? Excellent. So, about 150 years ago, this woman came to my center way back when I first started my ministry. And she was this beautiful redhead in the back of the theater. And I saw her, but I never really got to talk to her because she escaped before I could get off the stage and out to the lobby to say hello to people. And I would look for this woman. I'd be like, where is that redhead that keeps sitting in the back of the theater? And finally I asked somebody, I said, who did I ask? Somebody, Barbara Shane maybe, or no, I forget who I asked. But I said, you know that red-headed woman that sits in the last row of the theater? I said, she always escapes before I can talk to her. And this person said, yeah, she's a minister. I said, she's a minister? She goes, yeah, she's a retired minister. I said, oh, wow, from here she looks like she's, this young, vivacious. He said, no, she's in her, I think you're in the 70s maybe. I said, wow, she looks amazing. And I said, do me a favor. If she comes back next week, would you stop her in the lobby and talk to her and just distract her until I get out there? And so...
Basically hold her hostage.
Pretty much. And so they did. And I made it out to the lobby, and they introduced me to her, and she made it very clear to me, I just want you to know, I've already run my own center. I've already done this thing called church. I am no longer looking to do anything involved with church. I'm just here. I enjoy this center. I'm just here to enjoy myself. I said, okay. Since then, she's run the practitioner corps. She's taught classes. She is just, now she has a whole new bent on life. She's with Rick Tamlin's Produce You. She's got a brand new book out called, what is that book called? To Hell with Aging and Many Artifacts. No, To Hell with Aging. It's a picture of her on a surfboard. But today, she is going to sing a song. So please welcome the Reverend Dr. Nancy Berggren. So you can sing your song, then we'll talk to you on the couch.
I need a stand-up mic.
Oh, you want a stand-up mic? Absolutely.
I'm hard to deal with. I'm just so particular.
Here we go. I'm going to put you over here then so you get better.
Okay.
Let's see, come to your mouth. Let me see if it's near your mouth. Oh, that's perfect.
Oh my gosh. Here we go. Hang on to your hats, guys. And doing just fine. Kick up my heels, swilling cheap wine. Done pulled them all those fancy pants ducks. Can't shut love in an old pine box. Got a smile on my face or down on my luck. I'm rolling in dough or can't make a buck. Listen real close, cause I'm telling you true. Here's what happened and the joke's on you. Get out the way, get off of my back. I'm on the move, I'm on the rock track. Get out the way, cause you can bet I'm on the move and I ain't dead yet. Call up the digger, send a hearse home. There'll be no wake, Grandpa's coming home. Let's have a party, a real shivery. I'll keep dancing while I still breathe. So get out your fiddle and rosin up the bow. Beat out the time while we go side go. I ain't kicked a bucket, at least not yet. Call off the wait, cause I ain't dead yet. Get out the way, get off of my back. I'm on the move, I'm on the rock track. Get out the way, cause you can bet I'm on the move and I ain't dead yet. I'm on the move and I ain't dead yet. I'm on the move and I ain't dead? I'm on the move and I ain't dead yet.
Wow. Okay, you ain't dead yet.
Okay. Yep.
Have a seat, Nancy.
Oh.
Dr. Nancy. So talk to me. So who wrote that song?
I did. I'm working on another one for my senior friends at like but I only have one sentence so far.
What is it?
And I thought maybe you guys could help me with it.
Absolutely.
It's for, when I go to visit the people in those retirement homes. But I only have the first sentence. Let's see. It goes, there's a rainbow in my colon and titanium in my hip. But I'm not a bore because I don't snore. I use breathe right strips. That's all I've got so far.
Why is there a rainbow in your colon?
That's what came to me. It's just downloads.
Okay.
So, but the breathe right, yeah. I like the titanium part.
All the lyrics
had a
are
nice ring to it.
The lyrics are really good.
Yeah.
And you're still now. Can I ask you your age?
91.
91.
Woo-hoo!
And you are out there acting.
Yeah.
And singing.
Yes.
And dancing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And writing a book.
Two-stepping.
And writing a book.
And writing a book, To Hell with Aging.
So Nancy, why should people give money to the center today?
Oh, dear God. When I walked into this place, I had been to like a half a dozen other spiritual centers, which were all lovely and full of love and harmony and joy, and they just weren't my cup of tea. You know what I mean? And I walked in North Hollywood, and I saw this man, and I heard this music, and I felt this passion, and I said, I've come home. This is home for my spirit and for my joy and for all the times when I'm not feeling that. It's even better when I'm not feeling that. You know, I come here and I go, life is crap. And then I walk in here and I see your loving faces. And I, more than that, way more than that. It's not about seeing you, it's feeling you. I feel you. I feel you in my heart. I really do. That's the truth. And because for 6 months I was on the couch after being in and out of the hospital with heart and lungs issues, nothing important, nothing big. And it wasn't the best time in my life, but I could always get lifted up with this music.
When you came here.
And this passion and this teaching that got me off the couch. If it weren't for
and now you're back on the couch.
If it weren't for this teaching, if it weren't for what I've been taught and learned and teach, I'd still be there, feeling, doing my pity party and feeling sorry for myself. But one day I just went, you know what? This just really doesn't work for me. I got to figure out, this damn thing's going to kill me if I don't figure it out. So I got my little walker, which was not the fancy kind, with the seat and the place to put your coffee and the bells and whistles. None of that. It had two little squeaky wheels on the back and tennis balls
on the front.
Tennis balls on the front. So you go, and I went, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna get this body off this couch, and we're gonna walk. And I went screeching down the sidewalk, and I didn't care. I always cared so much. I didn't say that word, but you heard my thought. I always cared so much, and at that point, maybe that was part of why I had to go through that experience, because I honestly didn't care. I just went, here I am, guys. See, this is me doing the best I can. I went a couple houses, then, 4, and before long, I'm doing a mile in the morning and a half a mile at night, and I still do that. And I'm so blessed, and I know that the reason I was brought back to this level at 91 years old, I don't understand it, but I'm grateful for it, is because a message wants to come through me, not only for seniors but for everybody. Mm-hmm. And so I'm on Constant Contact. They put me on Constant. I've got everything. I've got
I know.
landing pages.
Rick told me you are like one of his star pupils. Really, he really did tell me that.
I follow you on Instagram. I was just like, one day all of a sudden I'm scrolling. It's like, she's on Instagram.
She does more Instagrams and TikToks than anybody I know. I know. She is like crazy,
and it's
in
so
a
fun.
really good way.
Well, it's so fun because you said I keep acting. Well, I'm not doing TV or film anymore because the days are a bit long. So I just act on TikTok and have fun that way.
Yeah.
Reverend Nancy, though, but you're the living example, I think, of I'll have what she's having. It's just like, here you are at this ripe young age, and it's just like you are as vibrant, as committed to work as anyone I know. So.
But what you said is so true. What we offer here, what we are here to do. Somebody said to me the other day, I don't know where I'd be if your center didn't exist.
That's right.
That the love I get here, the lessons I learn here, and for myself too. Mm-hmm. I mean, we all go through so much, and if we have a perspective and an understanding, I remember when our daughter died. Without this center, I'd probably still be laying somewhere in a coma, just huddled up in a ball. But I knew something deeper than that, and that's what this is about, and that's why. We do the telethon at the end of the year to raise money to make sure that we are here next year, to make sure that we are supporting ourselves enough to be here next year. So, and I have to tell you a funny story. So I was talking about you the other day, and I said, we have a lot of senior citizens at our center, and this person's just looking at me. I said, and I brought you up. I brought Joe Jordan up, who, hello, Joe. I know you're watching us today.
Hi, Joe.
Joe is 96. You're 91. Don is 93. I said, so we have a lot of senior citizens, and this person looked at me and went, you do realize you're a senior citizen? And I was like, no, I'm not a senior. Oh my God, I'm a senior citizen. And they were like, 65 and over is a senior citizen. And I was like, what if you don't look 65? But it made me laugh. I was like, I'm a senior citizen too. Kevin is not.
Yeah, so you can go to the back of the menu at Denny's, and they have the 55 and over section.
55, I know.
That's
Well,
it,
I appreciated that. Where did we used to go?
Yeah.
Applebee's,
and Nora and Will would always go. The waiter would come, and Nora and Will would go, my dad gets the over 55. And I'd be like, you don't have to tell them that. But it was good to get that discount. Yes. So what's next for Reverend Dr. Nancy?
Well, I've got this constant contact page, and we're supposed to send Rick is relentless. He gets
Dr. Rick Tamlin.
Dr. Rick Tamlin.
He does a program called Produce You, and people pay a lot of money to spend a year with them. And I don't mean a lot of money, but it's very, very solid. And they spend a year with him, and he and his husband Rick, Chuck, and they teach each client how to take their gifts and put them into the world. And honestly, the changes that are happening in people's lives, just spectacular.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I got in constant contact, and let me preface that. I'm teaching a 7-week class. The last class was this past Thursday. So amidst what's ever going on in our nation, I'd write it. I was trying to put together the curriculum. I'd write it and erase it, because I wanted to honor I wanted to give people space to express themselves, but I also wanted to give them something more. Yep. So we did that the first half, and then the last half I said, now we're going to talk about sex. Because it was 7 chapters in both books, The Mind to Matter with Dawson Church, and my book, To Hell with Aging. They both had 7 chapters. And I really hadn't used my book that much. And the 7th chapter is Want More Intimacy, Love, and Sex. So I said, now we're going to talk about sex. Because I figured that would end everybody on a giggle, where they kind of sat there until a couple of people offered delicious little morsels.
What was the name of this class?
Living Out Loud.
Okay, good.
Living Out Loud. So we're living out loud.
So your last class was on sex.
Yes.
Sex for seniors.
Sex for seniors. So then, that was good. So, but then...
We do have children here today.
I do.
Just kidding. They're not children.
Yeah,
wow, look at that hair.
No, there's
no hair.
They're good.
That's great.
So then I sent out a constant contact about the same subject. And I'm getting...
My God, you'll be the new Dr. Ruth.
A director that I worked with 20 years ago said, you're turning me on. And it wasn't that kind of a constant contact. It really wasn't. It was about seniors.
Well, clearly it was a constant contact.
Well, it might. All right.
Ba-dum-pum.
All right. Ba-dum.
Nancy, I am so proud of you. So excited for what's coming next and what's gonna be the new frontier for Nancy Bergman. I'm serious. You could be the new Dr. Ruth.
Ooh,
you're much prettier and taller.
Oh yeah, I'm taller and skinnier.
No,
so maybe it'll work.
Yeah.
Really not my choice, but I asked Spirit. I said, "Why is this not working?" And it says you have to acknowledge your sexuality. I said, "What? How do I do that?" I said, "Talk about it."
Yeah.
And that was about 3 months. Took me about 3 months to get the courage to say, as long as we're breathing, we're sexual beings because we were designed that way.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
And that's the end of Reverend Dr. Nancy Bergman. Oh, and like she said, tell them to contribute.
Oh, please. I didn't bring a checkbook. I brought a credit card because I can put more money on the credit card than I can on my checkbook. So
Great.
it's hot. It's burning.
Burning hot. Thor will take it
Thor, will you take it? I'll run up the ladder right now and give you my credit card, and then we'll...
No, he's not going to let you run
All
up the
right.
ladder.
Moving right along.
Go ahead, Thor. Oh, your microphone's off? Go ahead,
Yeah,
Thor.
it's on.
It's okay.
So, in honor of Reverend Nancy, someone made a really unique donation. They took Reverend Nancy's age, which she was gracious enough to say hello to us, and they doubled her age, and that was their donation. So we got $182 from Tina in Arlington. Thank you, Tina.
Tina G. Tina G.
Okay, Tina,
Love
I
you,
better
Tina
see a
G.
big donation when I do what I do at 2 o'clock or at 1:30. Yeah. Nancy, thank you. I love you. Reverend Dr. Nancy Bergren. Okay. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay. I believe our next, I was just going to say contestant. There's no contestants here. So, here, that's for you.
What
do you have to say?
Are we using the green or the white as the guest?
I think the green is the guest. The white is you.
Okay.
No, the green is me.
That's
What
what I
doesn't matter. We'll let you know what color it is when they get it. Yeah. Okay. So I do have, just so you all know, I have a list here of the whole show. So I'm actually following along. And we're actually doing really, really good.
Well.
We're actually really good.
Well.
We're good.
We do really well.
Really going to correct my English?
Somebody
we do
should.
well. We're doing very well. Yes. I'm very good. Hold on.
You're scrolling now.
I am scrolling.
While you're scrolling.
Here we are.
We're-
We're perfect. Okay.
At the 11:20
So-
almost moment.
Mr. Gibb, you're going to need to leave your camera for a moment. So you'll have to take over there, Thor. Come on up. Would everyone give a round of applause to Scott Gibb? Oh, turn it on. Yep.
It's on. It's just
Oh, wait.
not up.
Hold on. 1, 2, 1, 2. There we go.
Thank you.
So, Scott, a lot of what's on the stage, on this side of the stage, belongs to Scott Gibb. Not only belongs to him, but was made by Scott Gibb, right? So, let me come over here. So, first of all, you didn't make these bowls.
I did not
but
make
they
the
are your
bowls.
bowls. Right. So, talk about this. This actually belongs to me. I purchased this, but this is a
Rain pillar.
rain pillar. So, move that and... Okay, ready?
You have to pull it forward a little
I
bit.
will, yeah.
There you go.
Put your microphone by it.
Kind of sounds like
Isn't that gorgeous?
I love
Yes.
that last trickle of it.
I do.
I saw these for sale online, and they advertised 20 minutes of rain sound. And I said, I can make one of those, but I couldn't figure out how they made it last 20 minutes long. So I just put a lot of dried seeds in there, and it lasts a few minutes. But
Okay, and show them the other things that you have made.
so I started making musical instruments a few years ago when I retired.
Tell
and
the camera. So
And I
they-
started with wooden tongue drums, and then I advanced to stringed instruments. I made a lot of these harps. This is a lap harp. It's meant to be a music therapy instrument. And auctioned off several of those for
Yes,
charity.
Yes.
And I'm making a new one, and I almost lost it last night because I almost burned down my wood shop.
Yes.
You should not take linseed oil soaked rags and put them in a pile. We came home from soul immersion last night. I went out to my wood shop, and it was full of smoke. And these rags had started combusting. They hadn't turned into flame yet. They were smoldering. And I called our wonderful fire department here in Thousand Oaks, and they were literally out there within 5 minutes.
And Marilyn was so grateful because the handsomest men came running into her house.
Yeah.
That's what Marilyn said. She said, you should have seen these firemen.
I think that's a requirement to be a firefighter.
Oh, I know.
You
When I had them called to my house, because I had had an operation and I kind of plotzed on the floor and broke my nose. And it was just awful. And Kevin was really worried about me. And he said he knew I was okay when the firemen went in. And I looked at Kevin and went, wow. And then they put me on a gurney. And as they're taking me out of my bathroom on a gurney, I look up at one of the firemen and I went, please be careful. We just had these walls painted. And Kevin was like, he's fine. We're good. So you also have, what are you going to play?
I'm going to play my Schwarman doll.
Okay, we're going to do, you know what, you want to take it right up there? Yeah. Or you want to sit on the couch and do it?
Yeah.
That's great. So here's what we're going to do for you guys. We're going to give you a little bit of a sound bath. So I invite you. Hello, David. Keep your clothes on. Yeah, it's not that kind of a sound bath. Oh, a sound bath. I got it now. I'm still dealing with Nancy's last sexual thing. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to invite you all to close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And Swan, anything you want to add from back there, please do. And I invite you to just let whatever vibrations come up find a part of your body. Okay, you can open your eyes. How'd that feel? Didn't that feel nice? Thank you, Scott. Now, if you come here on the second and fourth Friday of every month at 7 p.m., you will see a sea of yoga mats. All these chairs go away with pillows and blankets, and there's a whole hour of that, but with every instrument being played. Swan has this electric stuff she plays from the back, where sounds come from all over the room. There's Judd comes here and plays flutes and oboes and all sorts of things. It's just amazing, and we build to a cacophony with the gong and the drum and the rain sticks. We walk around the room with the rain sticks right over people's heads. So it's an amazing experience. And it starts at 7 and we close at 8. And that hour, people just go somewhere. Right, Karen? They just go away and then they come back at the end. So join us on it. So Scott, where's that? Yeah. So tell people why they should be contributing to this telethon today, Scott.
Because this is a spiritual community that grows people, it excites people, it inspires people. I've been coming here for 18 years, since 2006, and is that 18? Yeah, 18 years. And with all the turmoil, let's call it turmoil, going on in the world, what I've learned from this center through treatment and practitioner training is how to live in the moment, how to be in the moment right now, and not futurize, not worry about what's going to happen in the future, not regret what happens in the past, but center yourself now. And this place has given me the tools to do that. And it's a survival skill, I consider.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Scott. Scott Gibb. And we have so many different things that we're working on here at the center. Something really exciting. We have a new teacher who's coming, a woman who's taking over our youth program. Reverend Connie has decided to retire. And we have a new woman who's coming, Shauna Williams. And she's putting a brand new program together. She has her doctorate in empowerment of children. And she's creating a whole program, an after-school program that we will start launching here in 2025 called Empowering the Child. And it's not a religious-based program at all. It's about helping our youth become empowered and not feel that anything out there is affecting who they are in here. It's just great. So I'm very excited. We'll be unleashing that in 2025. So, okay. So our next singer is, this will be a wonderful, I have not heard this person sing. She's been a member of our center for a very long time. I don't see her though, she just stepped away. So does she know that she's next? I think she does, but you make sure she knows?
We'll do some filler. We can do filler until then.
Oh wait, she's not next. She's good. I'm not looking at my thing here. You're next.
Surprise, surprise.
That's right. Yes, that's right. I don't know why I thought she was next. Of course, she would never get up and leave when she knew she was next. Why don't you do a little bit of setup for this song you're about to sing?
The song that I'm about to sing is called "We Can Be Kind." I've sung it at the center several times. But one of the things that comes out of this week from the election is what I believe we all must be to each other, which is, my mic's going in and out. I can
use that one, sure.
I'm gonna switching to green, Swan. I'm aware for myself that regardless of what anyone has come down on one side or the other politically, the one thing we need to be to each other is kind. The diaspora of this country has gotten away from just respecting kindness, and we're part of this spiritual philosophy, and one of the things I think we're called upon to do as part of it is simply be healers, be kind to each other. There is so much friction, but I mean, I think we're a fractured world right now. You know, and this song that David wrote many years ago just seems so appropriate right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm taking it as much as my own medicine as what I hope it will also mean to other people who hear it.
Great.
How's that?
Have at it. Robbie?
This is We Can Be Kind. So many things we can't control, so many hurts that happen every day, so many heartaches that pierce the soul, so much pain that will never go away. How can we make it better? How can we make it through? What can we do when there's nothing we can do? We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same thing. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. Nobody really wants to fight. Nobody really wants to go to war. Everyone wants to make things right. So what are we always fighting for? Does nobody want to see it? Does nobody understand? The power to heal, it's right here in our hands. We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same thing. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. Oh, and it's not enough to talk about it, not enough to just sing a song. We must walk the walk about it. You and I, do or die, we've got to try to get along. We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same thing. That maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. Then maybe we'll find true peace of mind if we always remember we can that's
The challenge.
my medicine for myself, medicine for the world.
Yep.
That's
I
what
love the
think.
lyrics. David's
Let's be
lyrics
kind.
seem so appropriate right now. Nobody really wants to fight. Nobody wants
Right.
to go to war.
We all do have a common interest. I believe that in the core of my being. Arguably, I think we have different modes or ways we think that
Yeah.
should be achieved. But the goal, I believe certainly for most people, is the same goal.
Yeah. And Ernest Holmes said, show me a man who will... That's not the quote I want to use. No. Show me a man who's for something and against nothing, and I'll show you the next Jesus, the next Buddha. But it's true. Can we stand for what we are for without fighting what we are against? And I think that's a difficult thing to do, but I think we have to do that. We have to. We need to really stand strong with what we believe in and what we are for and resist going against what we're not. And that's what that song is for me.
We're definitely don't have to move off principle, right?
No.
We can't. And in living in principle, kindness and love, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Always have to be at the center of that operating belief.
Yep, totally.
Must. Love only, right?
Well, one of the great people of our center who it really is very love only, right there, love only, really lives her life from a love only perspective. I knew that the minute I met her when I came to this center. And she has had an amazing career in the world and has finally written her book called From Saginaw to Srinagar, My Journey from the Familiar to the Far Away. This is a woman who had a company called Wow, all about taking you on trips to the most amazing, which we got to do one with, the amazing parts of the world that you would never even see. So please welcome to the stage, Marilyn C. Murphy. How are you?
Thank you for that lovely introduction.
Of course. So I have been nudging you, begging you, pushing you to write that book,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And you
Among
wrote
other
it,
people.
you sort of wrote it, then didn't write it, then didn't like it, then wrote it again. How many of you ever go through that? Nothing gets done because you just don't like it. It's not perfect yet. And this is perfect.
It is.
And now you can say it.
I am so proud of it. I really am.
How many years did it take you to write this book?
I signed a contract with a publisher 10 years ago. And it was supposed to be a different book. It was going to be about my business, and it was going to promote my business, and and there was going to be a ghostwriter involved, and the ghostwriter was great, but it wasn't my voice. So they gave me a different ghostwriter, and that ghostwriter was great, but it wasn't my voice. So I said, I'll write the book. Well, I didn't have time to write the book because I was running a business, and then COVID happened. That was the one good thing about COVID, because having a travel business suddenly didn't make much sense. So I was able to turn it over to my VP, who's still running it, thankfully. And then I had time to write the book, and then it didn't need to be about my business anymore. It could be about kind of my origin story of how I got in this travel business, which was the best thing that ever happened to me. Well, one of the best.
I believe the other one's behind the...
Yeah, the
he's
other one's
waving.
behind the
He's
camera.
waving to you,
Yeah,
saying, "I'm
yeah.
the other best thing that ever happened to you."
Truly.
Yes.
So-
Well, I'm excited that this just came out. The launch party was a week ago,
A
2
couple
weeks ago.
yeah.
Yeah. So this book just came out. It is on Amazon.
Yes.
And for every book you buy, you can also donate to the Global Truth Center. As you buy the book, remember to donate to our telethon today. But there's a story in here that I just love. And Monday, November 20th. Is that when it happened? Monday, November 20th. So I've asked Marilyn if she would read us all that story. It's a short little story. And
So, thank you.
there, you're good. You can
Okay.
don't even worry about leaning in. He'll pick you up.
So.
Although sit on the edge of the chair. There you go.
Okay. I grew up in Saginaw, Michigan, hence part of the title. Middle of the Midwest. I traveled a little bit around the country with my family on camping trips, that sort of thing, but I had never, well, I'd been to Canada, but never traveled internationally. And I had a girlfriend. She was blonde and beautiful and assertive and confident and all the things that I wasn't, or at least I thought I wasn't. She had been in the Peace Corps for 2 years after college. Meanwhile, I had graduated from college with a home ec education degree at a time when they were getting rid of home ec programs. There was no teaching jobs. I didn't have a boyfriend. I had to move back home to Saginaw, which was never going to happen. So, long story short, she invited me to come over to meet up with her in the Philippines when she was done with her Peace Corps contract, and we would travel together through Southeast Asia. And I thought, I'm going to get a passport and a one-way ticket, and then I'll tell my family. And I did just that. So I flew to the Philippines. Long story short, lots of things went awry, lots of things went wrong, such that she couldn't travel. She couldn't leave the Philippines, so I went ahead, and she was supposed to catch up, and we were going to travel together as planned. Well, she never came, and I had two choices, either go back home where I just left or go on by myself. So I thought, I'll go on by myself, and I did. A little ways. So this is what happened on Monday, November 20th, 1977. I was 24 years old. I was in Penang, which is an island off the coast of Malaysia at this point. For lunch today, we share grilled meat skewers with satay peanut sauce, laksa, a noodle soup, and a famous salad called rojak, which mixes turnips, cucumber, green mangoes, bean sprouts, fried tofu, and green apples with a dressing of sugar, chili, lime juice, and shrimp paste. Pat, my traveling companion at the moment, giggles as I recount my experience of tasting my first taco just 5 years ago at Delta College cafeteria. The salsa package was labeled mild, but my mouth was on fire. I had never tasted anything like it before. And here I am, eating turnips and tofu and green mangoes. Me and my taste buds have come a long way. After lunch, Pat and I spend a few relaxing hours in our hotel room reading and writing letters. I decide to lighten my load, unpacking my purse and my bags and laying everything out on the bed. I'm motivated to get better organized once and for all. Later in the afternoon, when our tummies start to rumble, Pat suggests that we go to a place that serves murtabak, which is described as a kind of pancake stuffed with meat, eggs, and vegetables. Pancakes? Though I've never had a pancake that didn't come drenched in maple syrup, I'm willing to try it. As usual, it is strangely delicious. Wandering back along Chulia Street, I admire the multiculturalism of this place. The architecture is British colonial, sprinkled with Indian, Muslim, and Chinese influences. Pat stops to buy some durian fruit from a vendor across from our hotel. I've read about durian. It's big like a watermelon, covered with spikes. The fruit inside is reputed to be sweet, nutritious, and absolutely delicious, but surprisingly stinky. A smell so putrid, in fact, that the fruit is banned on public transportation in major Asian cities. I stand in awe as Pat begins her negotiation with the vendor, marveling at how self-assured and adventurous she is, and at the same time wondering if she's planning to bring that smelly fruit back to our hotel room. In the next instant, I feel my purse being grabbed from behind and turn to see a guy running away with it. I have only one thought: my passport! He's got my passport! Stupidly, when we left the hotel to get some dinner, I had not tucked my passport back into the homemade pouch I keep pinned inside my undies. Without hesitation, I instinctively sprint after the guy in my pink flip-flops as he races to the end of the block where his accomplice waits on a motorcycle. I manage to grab onto his shirt collar just as he climbs on board. The driver hits the throttle and starts moving, but I'm still holding tight to the guy's shirt. The driver speeds up, dodging pedestrians and rickshaws on the busy street. I run faster and I hang on for dear life, all the while shouting, "Give me back my purse!" When my rational mind finally catches up to my instinctive, unthinking action, I have one crazy thought. Now what do I do? The driver rounds a corner and, to my surprise, and theirs, the bike tips over. The driver runs away. My purse skids across the pavement and I scramble after it, stepping on the strap. As I reach down to grab it, the thief, who I will call Snatcher Boy, lunges for the bag and knocks me off my feet. I'm now flat on my back on the pavement, clutching my purse firmly against my chest as he struggles to rip it from my grasp. Amidst this furious scuffle, two surprisingly vivid and unrelated memories pop into my mind. I remember the Lonely Planet guidebook's warning about the prevalence of drug addicts here in Penang and how one needed to be mindful of thieves. I also recall wrestling matches instigated by my brother Bob in our living room on Glendale Street when I was growing up. Moments ago, Julia Street bustled with shoppers and pedestrians engaged in their evening affairs. But now the street is devoid of people. It's just me and the thief. I look into his eyes. He's desperate. He's not giving up. But neither am I. We struggle some more. Another moment passes before I hear it. A low rumbling that makes the ground shake. In my peripheral vision, I see a hulking figure heading toward us. Whatever it is big and powerful. Snatcher Boy notices it too. I see his eyes grow wide and he releases his grip on my purse. He stands up and takes a couple of steps, but it's too late. The Hulk is an off-duty cop, as wide as he is tall. He grabs Snatcher Boy, throws him down against the curb, and starts kicking him. I gasp, "You can't do that!" I holler as I'm thinking, "That's police brutality." Pat suddenly appears, as do dozens of locals who gather around, chattering and pointing at me like I'm some kind of heroine, a real celebrity. I'm shaking but unhurt. Pat ushers me into a nearby restaurant and sits me down. She orders tea and says soothingly, "He should have grabbed my bag. I never would have chased him like you did." A crowd of people are clustered on the street, peering inside and pointing. I cannot believe what just happened. My instantaneous reaction and the fact that I actually caught the thief. A police car arrives on scene and they push Snatcher Boy into the back seat. They direct me to get in the car too. Pat protests loudly, "No, she's not getting in the same car with him. Tell them to send another car." Once again, I'm in awe of her power. But they relent and send another squad car. At police headquarters, I give a detailed verbal statement as well as a written statement. The cops joke about the incident, proudly claiming they watch Kojak, a popular American TV series about a bald-headed, tough but honest New York police detective. Snatcher Boy, a scary-looking character, only about 20 years old, is there too, staring at me. Perhaps he's trying to intimidate me, or perhaps he's amazed that a girl fought back. The detective asks if I will testify. Apparently, the guy has pled guilty, but he's still demanding his day in court. I was planning to leave to go to Thailand, I say. "We'll pay you for your time," he says, and the trial will take place in just a few days. He had me at, "We'll pay you." Okay, sure, I guess I can delay my departure a bit. Later, when Pat and I return to the hotel, I see all of my belongings laid out on the bed, just as I had left them. And there, sitting prominently on top of the pile, is my passport.
That is so good. For the rest, you will have to buy the book.
Yes.
And watch and hear the rest of it. Mr. Bailey, come on up. How does it feel?
It feels...
This is your first time doing a reading like that
Yeah.
besides your book launch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm ready. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to take this out to the world, and really what this is about for me is inspiring people to travel. Maybe not like I did, and maybe not on 50 cents a night, but to go places that you wouldn't maybe think about going, to go deeper, to meet the people, to maybe not stay at that 5-star American-style hotel that has everything you could get at home, but experience the culture, experience the company of the people. Proceeds from my book and from hopefully speaking engagements will go to...
We don't do hopefully.
Oh, okay, right.
And for future speaking engagements.
For my future speaking engagements, travel scholarships for young people, because young people need to see the world and experience the world, as do people of every age. So that's really what I'm about, is spreading the gospel of international travel.
That's so great. Do you know where our son is right now?
Yes.
Bhutan.
Bhutan,
Yes. Yes, he just sent me an email. I'm very excited by that.
If you don't know where Bhutan is, it's spelled Bhutan, and it's in Central Asia.
Yeah.
Kind of north and east of India.
I have no idea
somewhere.
where he is. He's sending me pictures. He sent a video, and in his hand was a bug. And I thought he was just trying to show us the bug that he found, and all of a sudden he ate it. And then it was a cricket.
Cricket.
And then it shows. Then he backs up. The camera backs up, and he's chewing it. And then Kevin, I guess, asked him, he said, "What did you just eat?" And he said, "Let's pretend it was a potato chip." He said, "But it was a fried cricket that they sell over there." And he said it was really like eating a bunch of potato chips, but it was like a whole bag of crickets, fried crickets. He's not going to get that to my house.
And those are the kind of experiences. They're optional, but you can try durian stinky fruit, which I never actually did try in the whole time I was over there. But guess I have to go back and try it.
You have to go back and try. Well, you're about to go. Where are you about to go?
I am going to India in February for a festival called Kumbh Mela. Among other things we're going to experience, like a tiger safari, etc. But the Kumbh Mela is a religious festival that happens every 12 years when Jupiter and Pluto and something happen. But all of the sadhus, the holy men from India that are ascetics, and they live in caves and they wear orange diapers and that sort of thing, they come to this place on a riverbank somewhere. Every 12 years they come out of their caves, and as do apparently millions of other people, and it's the largest gathering of human beings on planet Earth. And I can't wait to go.
Awesome.
I'm kind of crazy that way, but I have one place left on this little trip I'm taking, 8 lucky women, and it's going to be maybe another book.
Yes.
Who knows?
And not 10 years in the writing.
No.
Give it up for Marilyn. That was great, honey. Great. Thank you. Okay, now we go to our singer. So this young lady, as I said, I don't know her as a singer. I don't think I've ever heard her sing. I will get to hear her sing today. She came from Agape, Michael Beckwith Center, while she was a minister. She was in ministerial training. And she came to my office in North Hollywood, and she said, I've been asked to find someone to interview as a minister. So I've chosen you if you would do that. And so she came and met me, and she kind of never left. So she's been here ever since. She now stage manages on Sundays. She runs the practitioner corps after Nancy stepped down from that. And she's just an amazing person who I have watched grow so profoundly. So today we get to hear her sing. So Kirby Ingram, come on up here. I'm just going to have you sing first. So right here.
Right here?
Yep. Because I want you right by Robbie. Yeah. And let's just check to see how this is. How's the lighting, Thor?
Check.
Good? Great. Let's make sure it's
Maybe
on.
a little. It's a tad
Yeah, I'm
low.
going to bring it up. Ready? Try that. Talk into that.
Hello.
Okay. Kirby Ingram.
You've been trying to put me in a box, saying this is it, you'll never be enough. Take those dreams and put them on a shelf. And for many years, I was holding back, thinking I should be more like this or that. But then I saw the real truth of it all. No, I am not who you think I am. I am so much more. I am one with Source. I am limitless, infinite, powerful, abundant, complete from the start. Creator of all I am, that I am. Oh, yes, I am, that I am. And I was stuck in thoughts, doing it their way. Didn't listen to the things my heart would say, letting fear take over and decide. But when I realized that the choice was mine, oh, I could feel a shift and I began to shine, living an empowered, beautiful life. No, I am not who you think I am. I am so much more. I am one with Source. I am limitless, infinite, powerful, abundant, complete from the start. Creator of all I am, that I am. Oh, yes, I am, that I am. And therefore, everything around could fall apart, and I would still have love in my heart. Open eyes, now I see that there is nothing to do, just be. No, I am not who you think I am. I am so much more. I am one with Source. I am limitless, infinite, powerful, abundant, complete from the start. Creator of all I am.
That was great. Have a seat.
Oh,
Oh. Well, you're not who we think you are.
No.
So how does that feel?
It feels great. It
Yeah?
feels amazing.
Tell me the journey.
Well, so when I was younger, when I was in high school, I wanted to sing.
Yeah.
And my parents, I'm grateful for them setting me up with a voice coach. And then they said, we're not going to pay for them anymore.
Oh.
And I said, what? Why? They said, well, because you never practice. And what I realize now, but I didn't realize then, was that I was terrified of anyone hearing me.
Oh.
And as I realized when I have watched my children grow up, that sometimes we're afraid of our own power. And that was me. And just around that same time, I got asked to sing in a band. You know how it is when you're in high school. And they wouldn't pay for the microphone or the amp. And so I just feel like that song was so appropriate because just put that dream on the shelf, you know? And I didn't have the power to stand up for myself. Oh. I just didn't. I didn't have the confidence or, you know, that within me that I see in my kids, that they know what it is that they need and they can tell us. Mm-hmm. And so last month, over the last couple of years, people have accidentally overheard me singing. So I guess it's got back to you that I was actually pretty good at it. So last month was spontaneity, was our theme. And we happened to be in Missouri, and we were all sitting around having breakfast or something. And James said, well, you're going to sing at the telethon. And I just was shockingly, what? And I figured, okay, it's spontaneity. So I said, okay. And then immediately thought, what the hell did I just do? And then I spontaneously found myself a voice coach who helped me. And here I am.
Whose song is that?
It's by an artist named Fia, F-I-A. And there's another artist with the same name, but she's blonde, Scandinavian. I don't know where she's from. Netherlands, somewhere. And she sings in English. And I don't know where I heard that song, but when I did, I thought, oh, this is a good GTC song.
Yeah, it really is. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
So here I am.
So what made you, as I'm asking all of the guests in terms of why people should be contributing to our telethon today, what made you make this your home?
Well, I loved what you had to say from the stage. You were personable. You were very connected to everyone. There's a warmth that comes from you and from you, a welcoming. And I really felt that welcome. I really did. And people came up to me after the service and were just so kind. And it felt really cozy in here. So I was coming from Agape, which is a huge, huge center. And not that I didn't feel cozy in there, but it just felt like a hug and that I needed. Aww. And then working with you for my internship, and then you just spontaneously asked me to do my last, well, you said I should do my last year of ministerial with you. Yeah. And that was...
Because it was going to be the last ministerial I ever taught.
Oh, yeah. So that was an immediate yes. And then it was terrifying to be in a class of amazing minds that had all bonded, and I was the new kid. And I hit up against all of my insecurities. I hit up against everything. And you and I had kind of a contentious relationship. I would be crying inside a lot of the times and just wanted to hide. I just wanted to hide.
You sometimes cried out loud.
Yes.
Yeah. Just to be clear.
And you challenged me. And now here I am. I think it's been 6 years since I came. And I've just, like you said about so many of us who've been up here, how much I've grown. And how much I've become okay with who I am right where I am. And knowing that is a magnificent creative intelligence that lives with and breathes and has its being within each of us. And so I've accepted that no matter where I'm at.
Do you know the type of students I tend to... No.
And now you're a public singer.
Yes. What happened to your microphone?
It wasn't working, so I just...
Oh, it wasn't working?
No, I'll grab the other.
Give him that. The kind of students I tend to attract are students that there's something in them that needs to come out that's not coming out. I find that a lot. And I know that because they're the students I tend to be like this with, you know, because I see it, they don't see it, and it like frustrates me, which you and I have talked about. As you said, you know, I didn't want anybody to hear me. I didn't, you know, I wasn't sure I had anything to say. And what have I been saying this whole time? But yes, you do. Get out there.
What's your point of view?
Did I yell it like that?
Well, that was what was drilled into it.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like I'm like the spiritual Mama Rose. Really. It's like, sing out, Louise. Yeah. And you have. And today, you sang out Kirby. So let's give it up for Reverend Kirby Ingram.
Reverend Doctor.
Reverend Dr. Kirby Ingram. You were fabulous.
Oh. Thank you.
Okay. Now you get to sing more, too.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Okay. Where are we, Thor? Do you have to turn off for a minute?
We're in Westlake Village, California.
Oh, very funny. Is this your stand-up moment?
It's my stand-up act, yes. If you would like to take a break, we can switch over to the new broadcast now, and it'll be a couple minutes.
So let me explain to all of you what we're doing. We are switching over to a second broadcast so that we don't have a 4-hour file, so that we have 2 and 2. That way Kevin and I can take a pee break.
A potty break.
A potty break. And
So
we will
what
be
is
back.
exactly, we're switching over the live broadcast is what they're explaining.
Right, so if you're at our website, say you're watching from there, globaltruthcenter.org/telethon, you'll see at the top it says part 1. So what you'll do is in a couple minutes, you'll see part 2, the video file right below it, will become live. It'll be our little cabaret logo there, and once we start, that'll go up, but where you can donate doesn't change. It's still right there.
So we will be back. It is 12:10 right now.
Do we have are we keeping a running tally on our donations?
Where are you right now, Thor?
Yes, where we are right now is we have passed the $2,000 mark.
Excellent.
So we're very grateful. We had a sizable donation in the room. Ixnay, right to your right.
Kevin, did you donate?
I did.
Oh, good.
Yes, so we've had a lot of amazing donors, and I will show you the list at the break. So if you want to call people out.
So 12:10, we'll be back at 12:15. What was I going to say? Okay, at 12:15. Ish. Oh, probably before that. 12:15. I'm going to sing the first love song I ever wrote to Kevin. So you don't want to miss that. So we'll be back here at 12:15. Ready?
Wonderful.
Okay.
Just a short break for us, and we'll be right back.
Okay, everybody.